Hey guys, what's up? Bro, let's talk games here. Today I'd like to show you guys the Super Mario canon timelines. I made this like in 2022, and I spent a little time updating it. But this is pretty much a timeline of the Super Mario series, and I made this because there's kind of a Sonic timeline that Sega released, and then Nintendo has a kind of strange Legend of Zelda timeline, but they don't really have any timeline for Mario, so it's all up to the fans, and I may have gone a bit overboard, but this is just my interpretation. I'm sure you guys all have your own ideas on how the Mario timeline goes, and I'd like to hear those ideas in the comments, because those are the videos that I like to watch. So we're gonna get right into it, and we're gonna start with the Yoshi games, which are usually the first games in the timeline. I'm not gonna read all of this, but I will make this timeline available in the description for you to enjoy at your leisure. But and there's multiple timelines down here, and just for fun, I'll show you. I made this one just random. Like, this makes no sense, but I just these are fun, but these are not part of the official timeline. And then Paper Mario is its own separate timeline. Some people like to make these like, oh, they're stories that happened in a book or something, and I think those ideas are cool. But as established by Mario and Luigi Paper Jam, it's kind of like a Sonic Generation sort of thing where I don't know. It's its own thing, okay? It's its own thing. But obviously all the Yoshi games happen. All the characters are young. I don't know about young DK being here. I'm gonna say it's the actually young Cranky. Just because that's gonna work for me. And then obviously I like to have Brooklyn be. The Mario world is kind of strange how the Mario Brothers are from Brooklyn, but then the Mushroom Kingdom exists somewhere. I like to think that Brooklyn is kind of like how Brooklyn's relationship with New York. I think it's the same, except instead of New York, it's New Donk City. So, but anyway, the delivery stork that like dropped Mario and Luigi, obviously, I like to think it came back after all these adventures and brought them back so they could live in Brooklyn, so that their parents weren't just like devastated that their children are just gone forever. And then that's when all the Yoshi games. I'm not sure about the new Yoshi game. I have no idea on if it has like Mario in it or something, but usually they don't, so I'm gonna assume it's here. And I wrote, Mario Luigi grow up. Mario, not sure what to do in life, tries many things, such as the army and race car racing and archaeology. And finally settled on construction and carpentry, which actually Mario was a construction and he was a construction worker and a carpenter in the original Donkey Kong game. And so his girlfriend is Pauline, and I don't know why he gets a pet gorilla, but that's what it says in the canon, so he does. And then there's just kind of this back and forth, and then eventually he becomes a plumber. And that's when the original Mario Bros, not Super Mario Bros, Mario Bros. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself, but in my timeline, I have Donkey Kong Jr. being the father of Donkey Kong the Third, which is the modern Donkey Kong. But the order of the games would be exactly the same if I thought that they were the same person. So if that's what you think, then you can just ignore the text boxes. But either way, this is when Donkey Kong Jr. would show up. And they just kind of went back and forth until Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. just kind of disappear. And I don't know. I like to think that maybe Pauline and Mario broke up because Mario just randomly disappeared one day, you know. He's in the Mushroom Kingdom and he met some other girl, you know, and I don't like to think I'm not saying he like cheated or anything, but he just disappeared, and he was gone for quite some time. He didn't come back to until over here, but I'll get to that in a second. And so he's not sure how to return to the Mushroom Kingdom, so I like to think the Lost Levels is him trying to like, I don't know, he's trying to get back to the back to Brooklyn or whatever. Mario 2 is a dream, but it also really happened. It's kind of weird. I love this game though. I talked about this on the channel. Mario 3 happens, Mario Land happens, and there's this fan game called Super Luigi Land, and it's just so well done that I had to put it on here. But obviously it's not really canon, and I will label that whenever I put a little fan headcanon in here, but it takes place while Super Mario, well, he's gone. And while Mario's gone, we meet Wario, and I like to think Wario is his childhood playmate, just because that's what it says in the Super Mario Bros. Comic that was released in the Nintendo Power magazines. So that would mean he's probably from Brooklyn. And anyway, he takes over Mario's castle. Don't explain why he's rich, but he has a castle now. And so while Mario was in I have no idea. Sarasa Land? Please tell me the pronunciation in the comments. But anyway, while he's saving Daisy. And then I don't see Wario timeline. I don't know if I made a Wario timeline. I might have to check. I may have not even got to that. But this is an old document from like, it's not old, it's from like 5 years ago. But I updated it slightly with some new games and some other stuff, but most of this is not outdated, but there might be a couple games missing on here. After more than 20 years, Mario and Yoshi are finally reunited, which is great. Though I don't know if Mario remembers him. That would be cool, though. Mario introduces kart racing to the Mushroom Kingdom, I like to believe. And Donkey Kong Jr. is much bigger in this game, so I like to think that he grew up a little bit more. And he shows up to the race, and Mario teaches typing is totally canon. But anyway, Mario finally figures out how to get back to Brooklyn, and he tries to be friends with Pauline again. And this is when I like to think he meets Donkey Kong the Third, or modern DK, or Donkey Kong Jr. if you believe that he grew up or something. And I like to think he follows the kind of mischievous, villainous steps of his grandfather/father or whatever. And he likes toys, he likes Pauline, he just, I don't know, he's kind of jealous of Mario. And then Mario and DK, I don't know if they make peace, but they kind of stop fighting, and Donkey Kong kind of has a hero arc where all of a sudden, instead of being a villain, he's gonna be a hero. And I mean, most of the time he's not really being a hero, he's just trying to get back his bananas, but like, you know, that's fair. And then Diddy Kong shows up, and Diddy Kong is the connection over here to Banjo-Kazooie, and I love Banjo-Kazooie, so I like to consider Banjo-Kazooie canon to this timeline. And the second kart race happens. Junior sits out, and so if you believe that Junior is actually modern DK, then nothing changes. But I like to think that modern DK is now here, and I just think that's cool. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed Mario 64 is when Toadstool finally reveals that her real name is Peach. I think Toadstool is like the family name, and Peach is like her actual name. And so she goes by her actual name because she's comfortable with Mario. And the fact that like Mario returned after, like, he made friends with Pauline, but we know he's meant for Peach. So, and then I like to think because Mario brought kart racing to the Mushroom Kingdom, all the like party games is like Mario starts hosting parties. Mario starts having sports competitions, and just that's kind of how I justify party games and sports games. You can ignore them mostly because most of the games in my timeline happen in release order, just because that's usually how developers' minds are. They usually make a game that takes place after the game they just made. That's usually how it works. Some games obviously have to get thrown around just because of story reasons. And that's how most of these Donkey Kong games are. They're just in release order, which some people might think is boring. But so yeah, I have the Pac-Man games here. I don't know if I don't know. That's cool. You guys can throw that in if you want. And then I also have the all these. Yeah. And also this never happened. So I put this in here hoping, but that never happened. So most of the stuff is, there isn't much to say about it, and you guys can look on the document attached in the description, but this is cool. Mario and Luigi meet their baby selves from the Yoshi Island game. So that's kind of like a Sonic Generations style thing going on there. I don't know if this is true, but I heard somewhere that Mario must be like over 100 years old or something, because the Star Festival happens every 100 years, but there's 2 Mario Galaxy games with the Star Festival. So I don't know if that's true, or I just kind of ignore that information, because that's too hard for my brain. This isn't meant to be some crazy fan timeline. This is supposed to actually make some sense. So I hope this makes some sense to you guys. I just explained Super Luigi U being either Luigi's telling of the story, or it just happened right after. Because Mario's adventures are so repetitive, it doesn't really matter. Mario and Luigi Paper Jam is kind of a crossover event, which proves that Paper Mario and Real Mario are separate people. And now Pauline is the mayor of New Donk City, which I established that that's connected to Brooklyn. And then everything else is just in timeline order. Is in release date order. My only problem is Bananza, which is a great game, but completely destroys my timeline, because I'm just gonna read this. Pauline is a 13-year-old in this game, which is a problem because Donkey Kong is an adult. And so it should take place after all the other Donkey Kong games, because all the other characters talk about events, like all the games that happened previously, and Cranky Kong is literally in the game. So how can Cranky Kong kidnap Pauline when she's an adult if Cranky Kong is already old? Like that, and that messes up the family tree of the Donkey Kong. Like, and then also Cranky mentions his rival in overalls, which means Mario was an adult when Pauline was 13. So like, how would Cranky Kong know Mario if he hasn't kidnapped Pauline yet? Like, there's just so many problems with this. So I've heard some theories online, like she being like, she mentions her grandmother a lot, so maybe the grandmother is like the actual Pauline. But there's not really much I can do about that. So hang on, I'm trying to find my yeah. So this is a SVG file right here. There we go. So that's why it's all. When I tried getting it into an image file, it was like all blurry. So this was the best I could do. Sorry guys. This is just a movie timeline, because obviously the movie borrows a lot of elements from many games, so it can't actually fit on the timeline anywhere. You can try and squeeze it somewhere, but it won't really work. And then obviously we have the upcoming Mario Galaxy movie. And yeah, that is my complete timeline. Oh, sorry, wait. I don't know. Do I not have the Wario timeline on here? I thought I had a good old Wario timeline. We don't have a Wario timeline. That's a shame. Alright guys, when I release this, there will be a Wario timeline. So please go check the description. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!